All right, President Biden's approval rating is underwater. Now, what does that mean? That means that his disapproval rating is actually higher than his approval rating. Now, that doesn't happen often, and it's not a good place to be if you're a politician. The reason? Well, I don't think I need to explain it, but what happened in Afghanistan certainly hasn't helped. Of course, the inflation, rising prices, rising gas prices. I mean, you name it. The mandates, all of this stuff. But here's the deal. All right, so the Democrats are rushing through to try to get H.R. 4. This is to federalize the election system. Why are they doing that? Well, they know that the policies of Joe Biden and this administration are so backwards that they don't stand a chance in the midterm elections for people who actually think and connect the dots. So what do? They have to lock in this political death grip, meaning what we saw in last November's election. But fortunately, there are states that are pushing back, like Texas. They approved on Tuesday the final version of Senate Bill 1. This was overcoming remember when the Texas Democrats fled the state, went up and spread COVID in Washington, D.C. Well, the Republicans stayed at it, passed the bill. It's now on the desk of Governor Abbott. Joining me now to talk about all of this and why it matters is Ken Blackwell, Senior Fellow for Human Rights and Constitutional Governance at the Family Research Council. He is also the former Secretary of State, the elections officer for the state of Ohio. Ken, welcome back to the program.
Hey, Tony, it's good to be with you.
Hey, good to see you as well. Let's start first with what are the key highlights of the Texas bill that is now on the governor's desk?
Hey, let me underscore one particular point. They, in fact, have made the policy, put the policy in place that would enhance our understanding or validating that people are who they claim to be in mail-in voting. Tony, as you know, I'm the co-chairman of the International Foundation of Electoral Systems. And let me just tell you, there is not another country on the face of the earth that has used mail-in voting or balloting to the extent that we used it in 2020. And most of the states, if not most of the states, there might be a couple of states that have some competency in this area, but most of the states didn't. And as a consequence, what they did was weaken the confidence that voters had in the results because of the irregularities, the unconstitutional actions taken by various governments. And so this is one of the things that I really like about what they did in Texas. They enhanced that part of the process. And here's a state that is being assaulted by the open borders policies of the administration. And so again, I want to also thank you and other grassroots organizations that got people involved and pushed back against this power grab by Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, and the radical left. They cannot institute a one-size-fits-all policy that would destroy the fabric of our constitutional republic.
And Texas is not alone. I mean, we've talked many times on the program about what Georgia did. They were kind of the point man, if you will, on this, and they took all types of hits and assaults from the left, same as Texas. I think in total we've had 17 or 18 states that have successfully moved reform legislation through as it pertains to elections. But let's talk for a moment about H.R. 4. You mentioned Nancy Pelosi and the power grab. This effort, and it's not dead. I mean, they're working hard to get this through. This power grab that would federalize our election system. This is about normalizing the irregularities that took place in the last election, last November. And the reason is, to me, quite obvious when you look at the debacle of this administration that played out before us last week. The only way the left can contain power, or retain power, I should say, is by manipulating the election system and controlling it.
Absolutely. And one of the things that our viewers and listeners should understand is that they would have you to believe that this is a Democrat-controlled nation. Well, the fact of the matter is that Republicans control more chambers of state legislatures, more county commissions. They in fact have more governorships. There is no way that we should surrender to this power grab. HR4 would create a new election czar. That would be the Attorney General of the United States. And under a manipulation of the system, all states would have to get any changes in their election laws approved by the Justice Department, run by left-leaning or radical leftists and a Democrat-controlled administration. So you're right. This is the same clown car that not only gave us the Afghanistan disaster, they presented us with open borders, a crime wave, defund the police. They, in fact, have now put these heavy-handed mass mandates on citizens. They won't be satisfied until we are converted from free-willed citizens to subjects, and we're not going to stand for it.
I think that's an apt analogy. I think they've packed more clowns in this clown car than anyone has ever done before. Ken Blackwell, thanks so much for joining us. Always great to talk with you, my friend.
Good to be with you, Tony.